Good morning, Eugene. Welcome back to the Eugene Morning Hustle podcast. On today's episode, we're going to dive into the world of sports, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Eugene's first pro basketball team. Let's get into it.
It's a little rushed.
It's a little rushed. Yeah, it's a little rushed. Okay. What's up, Eugene? You're listening to the Eugene Morning Hustle podcast, brought to you by the Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce. We're your hosts, Brandon Miller and Ivan Torres, and like us, we know you'd like to know what's going on in your city, socially, economically, civically, and culturally. From events to guest interviews and professional and personal development tips, each week we bring you stories of local business owners, advocates, leaders, and everyday Eugenians sharing how they've strengthened their roots to reach a little deeper in our community and how you can too. Today's episode is all about the world of sports. And our special guest today is Marion Clark Jr., the owner of the Emerald City Jaguars. And he also has a special guest here today, but we'll dive into that in just a moment. First, we are going to learn a little bit more about Ivan and his experience in sports.
Oh, geez.
Because you're a sports nut, dude. So tell me about it. Tell our listeners a little bit about your sports experience.
There was a time where I thought that I was going to be a professional baseball player, and then I broke my arm in a game, and I never went back. Actually, matter of fact, I never picked up a mitt after that.
Okay, so yours was an injury.
Yeah.
And that's what caused you to just be like, I'm done with sports?
Absolutely, dude. I was so freaked out. And the thing is, it was the team, right? So 8th grade, I joined a baseball team, and it wasn't something that I was like, Mom, I want to play baseball. My mother found a baseball team for me, and she was like, you're going to play baseball. Great. I'd never played baseball in my life. But I thought that was the first time that I officially picked up a mitt and put it on, and I was like, oh, this is how you catch. I was absolutely terrified of the ball because it was much harder than a softball.
That's true.
And anyways, I made it on the team, and I think that everybody that tried out made it on the team that day. So
we'll take whoever we can get, right? Are you breathing? Great, you're on the team.
You're on the team. And man, I cannot tell you how much I sucked. Even the coach was bluntly honest about how much I sucked. No, just kidding. He wasn't bluntly honest. He actually, I felt like he lied to me.
Oh.
Whenever the batting list came out, I was at the very bottom of that list, and how it works is you have your very best people at the very top of the list and your very worst people at the bottom of the list.
Oh, right.
And the reason they do that is so that way whenever the very worst people are up to play, now you have the best people right after them, so you can try and catch yourself back up. But anyways, I don't know if that's really the reason why they do it. But anyways, that's my coach told me that he put me at the end, so that way it would be like good person and then good person again right after that. And I don't know that was the truth. I know that wasn't the truth because, man, I think that out of, the 100 of times that I was up to bat, I think there was only 3 times where I actually hit the ball. I just sucked at it. And I think it's again, I was so terrified of the ball that I would close my eyes when I was up to bat. Right.
Okay.
So
all right.
And I would only swing 3 times and then I was out because every swing was a strike, and I was just like, oh man, I suck. But anyways, we made it to made it to state.
Oh wow, okay.
To top it off, we were actually a pretty good team.
So maybe you were just being hard on yourself.
No, dude, I was not being hard on myself. My coach was not being hard enough on me, and that's why I didn't learn how to actually play. We were just messing around. I remember there was me and this other guy, and everybody else took it super serious, and we were always the last ones on the track because we had to run a lot of laps, and we were just oh man, we both hate this. It was just didn't take it serious. I now wish that I would have.
Sure.
But anyways, we made it to state, and my parents were so proud, and I'm just man, just doing it. We're trying real hard out here, and really, I don't know how much I actually put into it. But anyways, this was in a movie scenario.
Okay.
I'm up to bat. Bases are loaded.
Mm-hmm.
The worst guy on the team is batting, right? And my coach literally instructed me as I'm walking up, right? All right, Ivan's up to bat. Everybody's but I'm don't worry, everybody. I'm going to bring you home. Don't worry. And my coach is look, don't swing.
Oh.
Get hit.
Oh.
Like, my coach literally wanted me to just stand in front of the ball and get hit.
Okay.
I was terrified of the ball. Like, I'm not going to do that willingly.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I understand what he's trying to do. He's just like, no, you're going to get striked out. Like, no, just walk and we'll get a home run. Well, I disobeyed my coach that day. And he was pretty upset. But okay. I went up and they threw the ball. I swung. It was a terrible ball. Like, it was like you knew it was a ball, but I still swung because I swung at everything. And I throw it, strike one, and my coach, man, he takes off his hat, he throws it on the ground, and he says, "Don't swing!" Like, just yelling it out loud. Like, at this point, everybody in the bleachers is like, "Wow, this guy." Here comes the next ball, and here comes another swing, and here comes another strike. And 2 strikes, bases are loaded, movie scenario, man.
Yeah.
I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it. Like the bleachers and everybody in the audience, like, have kind of like faded, right?
Oh,
I'm getting,
yeah.
like,
Tunnel
tunnel
vision.
in.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna swing at this next ball, and I'm gonna swing so hard that it's just gonna just either shatter the bat or shatter the ball, but something's getting shattered. And I did that, and I hit the ball.
Oh, nice.
I hit the freaking ball.
Yes.
Just not with the bat.
Oh.
Just not with the bat, man. And I ended up doing what my coach asked me to. Is I got hit. I got hit right here, like on the outside of my arm.
Okay. Yeah.
And closed my eyes and just swung as hard as I could, and the ball broke both bones. Well, it's not really 2 bones, but it's like split down the middle, and it broke one and broke the other. Dude, it happened. I dropped the bat, and I was like, whoa! Like, it hurt really, really bad, and like, so bad that I wanted to cry, but I wasn't gonna cry in front of everybody.
Of course.
So I'm like, ow, 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 and the coach comes over. You know, he's like, good job, good job, good job. I was just like, coach, my arm. And he's just like, squeeze my fingers. I squeeze his fingers. It's not broken. Go to first. And I went to first, man. And at this point, like I'm clenching onto my arm. And I'm like trying to listen. I can't listen. Like, my arm hurts way too bad. And like, I don't even pay attention. But the next guy goes up and swings and hits the ball right away, and it goes down center field. So now I'm supposed to move from first, and sprint my little butt to second, and the ball's like, it got hit into that direction, but my coach is in my ear like, run, man. I wasn't paying attention, so I ran, and like about a quarter of the way down, I see that the guy is already over there with like the ball, like trying to guard the base, and I decided to slide. Was my broken arm behind me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So it was like, slide and try to catch myself with this one, and then it was like 2 bends.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Never played baseball again. I lost my gloves. I never talked to my coaches again. I'm pretty sure we won second in state. And then I did get to take a picture with the trophy, but I think that was at a different date. But yeah, man.
That's some trauma, dude.
Yeah, never again. Baseball. I feel like, I did that. And see, that was in middle school. That was 8th grade. Whenever I got into high school, I went a different route and like chose drama and like something that wasn't on the field. But now I'm like, man, I should have done football, or I should have done soccer. Like, it would have been fun. But I don't feel like I missed out.
Well, hey, I can relate with the whole injury in playing baseball. That was similar to my experience, except I didn't break my arm, or I didn't use it as a bat anyways. When I was younger and I was playing baseball, I was bending down to pick up a helmet, and there was a kid right there practicing full swing, and boom, I bend down to pick it up, and I get smacked in the head with a metal bat.
Bro,
and I haven't been the same since.
Oh my goodness, I bet.
But I mean, that was my like ending. I was like, I'm done, dude. I'm not. Once I was healed,
Did it freak you out? Did
Tot-
blood everywhere or what?
Yeah, there was blood. Yeah, for sure.
Oh gosh,
but like
that poor child.
once I healed, I tried to go back and play, and my brain, not that it was probably from the bat, but like mentally, I just couldn't do it anymore.
There was a little bit of fear.
It was the fear of I'm not invincible, because as a kid you feel like you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I'm not invincible. This could happen again. And I just decided to just be done with sports at that point.
Yeah.
And like you, I was like, yeah, drama sounds better. A little theater, sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get hurt there.
Well, you know what? It introduced me to the whole world that I am living into now. So I'm glad that I got to try a little bit of both. I think that, sports are important though, because during that time, just the workout, the teamwork, the sportsmanship, that all of the skills that are developed there are amazing. And I think that, as you get older, it's unless you work for a job that has some type of team where you're working that, you kind of lose that. And it's just a good reminder that, like, as a team you can go so much further.
I think that's what's exciting about today's guest, is that they're really passionate about our community here in Eugene. They're passionate about the youth, and I think given our horror stories from our experience with sports, that they're going to be bringing this element to Eugene that is really going to connect our community in a special way. So, that is a perfect segue into our interview today with Marion Clark Jr. and Abion Khalifah of the Emerald City Jaguars, our first pro basketball team here in Eugene. All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. This is our interview here today with Marion Clark Jr. and Abion Khalifah from the Emerald City Jaguars. So we're going to dive in and learn a little bit more about a pro basketball team, the pro basketball team right here in Eugene, Oregon. So first off, tell us a little bit about the Emerald City Jaguars. Why are they here? How were they formed?
Yeah, so the Emerald City Jaguars, we're the first pro basketball team to come to Eugene, to be on this side of the Willamette Valley. And it all came as part of just like my own want to give back to the community and also give access. Growing up as a kid in Compton, Moreno Valley, California, access was a big thing that kept a lot of kids busy, kept them off the street, and it inspired them. So like I thought, hey, I don't really have anything like that here. And this just seems like a great place where, the community could use something to just be excited about and just have something else to go do. It's a lot of rain out here in Oregon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are? Came from Compton. What brought you to Eugene?
Okay, so I came out here actually Corvallis. So I actually haven't been in Eugene that long, to be honest. I do most of my life in Oregon has been mostly in Corvallis, but I've been kind of all over the Willamette Valley. So I actually came out here my senior year of high school and played basketball at Corvallis High under Greg Garrison. So, and Oregon has this, I call it Oregon Narnia, because it's the wardrobe. You come in, especially in the Willamette Valley, you come in and then all of a sudden you get stuck and you just never leave.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of just what happened to me. I just kind of got stuck. I met my wife out here on a basketball court. I actually went to open gym, and her dad is going to hate me for telling the story, but I'm telling it every time I get the chance. She was guarding me and I was slightly felt disrespected. I was why is the only girl on the court guarding me? Now there's some really great girl hoopers. I know some ones that are that I think could play in the NBA for sure. Destiny was one of the coldest hoopers in LA I've ever seen. But I was just man, no, I'm that guy. Why are you guarding me? And she crossed me. I bit on a really bad crossover, and she went by and she floated a beautiful layup up, and then her dad got in my face. It was yeah, see what I tell you. So then I went back and dunked on her dad, the very next play.
So was that love at first sight?
Basically. Dang. It was my own version of loving basketball.
I didn't even know she could hoop.
No. Yeah, my wife can hoop. She gets down. She likes low post work. So she likes getting down in the post and getting physical. She has a little nasty hook shot she likes to do. I actually can't stand it. Even though hook shots are one of my favorite shots, it looks unorthodox.
How often do you guys go head to head?
Oh man.
And is that how you guys hash things out on the court, bro? That's like,
actually,
why you ain't watching this? No, check ball.
like, that's the only thing we don't like hash things out. We go do hash things out through mini golf. Like, she got me on a tennis court one time and just like ran circles around me because I ain't never played tennis in my life. Like, so like the one thing we don't do is basketball because it
gets competitive.
It gets a little too competitive. Like we tried it one time and it was just like the game didn't end because she didn't want to lose and I didn't want to lose. And then like she started fouling really, really hard. And then like I'm like, I can't foul you that hard. So like it's not fair. She was like, well, I'm not letting you score the last bucket at all. I'm like, all right, so we're gonna call this a draw and we have to figure out something else to do. Like I think we went back and like played Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
all right, so you came to Corvallis. Where did you wanted to give back to the community, but where does starting a pro basketball team, like how does that even start?
Oh man, like honestly, it starts on 2K. Because like I play a lot of fantasy 2K and I always thought about owning my own team. Like if you told me when I was a kid, I was like, hey, I'm gonna own the Lakers. I truly 100% believe that I was gonna own the Lakers one day. Obviously, I do not own the Lakers. So
and see that's super interesting because I feel like a lot of people are like, I want to be an NBA player, but you want to be the owner of the place.
Yeah, like my parents always like emphasize ownership because when you own things, you get to kind of not make up your own rules, but just having that level of control and security behind it.
Absolutely.
So like they own their own house. My grandparents own their own homes all throughout Compton. Like, and so I just been around people that always own things. My grandpa owned like a mechanic shop down in Compton before I was born. And so like, I had just ownership. So it was just like, I'd rather own the team than just be getting the check cut. And to be honest, all the great NBA players get into ownership anyway. Michael Jordan is prime example. Like he turned like what, 200 million and like 1.3 billion or something. Like LeBron James has been very actively talking about how he wants to buy the Las Vegas franchise team when it happens. So like, if you have that, if you want to be great, you got to have that mindset of ownership at some point. Like, you know, you don't want to rent forever. You want to own your own. You want to own your home. You want to own your home. So
absolutely. So yeah, going back, it came from 2K.
Yeah. So yeah. So it came from 2K. And me and my brother had already started an organization in Corvallis called CA2 Sports, called Clark Ascension Academy. And it was essentially a basketball program that focused on underprivileged kids. We had a lot of those growing up where we were from, Boys and Girls Club, through the YMCA, Junior Lakers, Junior Raiders, etc. So we started that program for kids that were just necessarily left behind and people didn't really they didn't come in the gym immediately ready. Yeah. And so they would take time and investment. So we were just like, hey, we're going to take that time and investment in you and do exactly what you want. As long as you come in the gym, we're going to put everything we can into you. And so I just happened to have a really good investment that turned out to where I had a little extra money. And I was like, hey, I think I can actually combine these two things into something bigger.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we went. And I went searching around about what reputable leagues were actually around. I already knew about the TBL because my cousin Big Fudge, he actually played in the TBL. So like I already knew about the TBL. I knew it had been successful. I knew it had been there for years. So I called the owner, David Magley, and I was just like, hey, what is it going to cost for me to get into this team? We'll get into a league and bring another one to Oregon because there was already one in Salem, the Salem capital. So I went down and had a couple meetings with him about, you know, just what it entails, how you're doing it, like, you know, how much work are you actually putting in on a day-to-day basis. And everything just aligned, and I just pulled the trigger.
And that's when you were in Corvallis, right?
Yeah, I was still living in Corvallis at that point.
So why not do it in Corvallis instead of Eugene? Why Eugene?
Two reasons for Eugene. One, it's a bigger population in Eugene, and there's a lot more lower income kids that could use the opportunities and use the resources that I'm trying to create. So we wanted to make sure we could maximize the amount of children and lives we were affecting with it. So we were like, Eugene in Springfield and just the Lane County area is the same space. And plus our CA2 sports program is still down there in Corvallis. So we still are going to be in Corvallis. Okay. So, and then the last one was honestly just gym access. If one thing I'm going to advocate for around Oregon is gym accessibility, there is not a lot of gyms not a lot of sports centers around here that kids can go to. Like there's a lot of kids that play basketball, but there's no big Eugene basketball tournament that brings outside resources into town. And this is Nike Town. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Absolutely.
Like why we don't have like a sports center like the Anaheim Sports Center, or even one comparable to the Hoop in Salem. Like we don't even have that down here. So like we're thinking about putting on tournaments, and the first thing we keep running into is we don't have enough gym space.
Yeah.
To be like the second or third biggest city in Oregon. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
enough
that makes
gym
no
space.
sense. Yeah. Dang.
So where did you guys find here in Eugene to play?
So we and trust me, we went banging on every single gym door we could.
I'm sure.
I was knocking on every door like, hey, like I mean, we went to New Hope Christian, we went to Bushnell, we even went to U of O and said, hey, what's up with the MAC? Like, can we get in there and bring the city back in here? You guys aren't really doing much with it, but they're going to be doing some renos and construction and stuff. So I'm hoping to revisit that down the line, and maybe we could bring some life back to that historic arena that's just sitting there.
Definitely.
Get the community back involved in that building. But so far, Lane Community College has been a great partner. They reached their hand out when they heard about us, and they really like said, hey, we want to try to help you guys out, get you guys in a good gym, in a good space where you can put on the show that you guys want to put on. Because like this isn't just basketball. You got to think Savannah Bananas but basketball. That's what you got to think when you come to the games. Like it's not just a thing where you're sitting in the stands and like kids are just sitting and watching the game. No, like we're going to incorporate a lot of different things, a lot of different acts, a lot of local acts. Like we want a lot of local talent to come do halftime shows.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So, the whole point of the team is to create opportunities for people locally.
Dude,
Like,
I think that's great, man. Like bringing in some of the local art, essentially.
Yeah.
Local performance and things like that.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's plenty of talent here. And I think this is just going to be another outlet for them to promote themselves. And that's why we're partnering with so many local community organizations, that as many as we can, honestly, because it's about creating local opportunities for local people.
That's funny. I was reading that, speaking of like partnerships and things like that, y'all are going to have ice cream. Is that a thing? Did I see Prince Bucklers as like the ice cream vendor?
Yes, you did.
What?
Shout out Prince Bucklers. They came. They actually, like, the moment I emailed them, I probably got an email back in like maybe 2 minutes.
Wow.
Like I thought it was a spam. I was like, did she? Oh yeah, no, she emailed back quick. I was like, okay. No, their ice cream is great. I really want her to add some more chocolate chips in that chocolate chip, though. Like, I like my ice cream a little.
Well,
bit more than
maybe
chocolate chip.
after this episode, maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, we're actually right. We're working on a Jag flavor, so we're working on a Jag flavor.
Man,
with
I
it,
like
so,
that.
Like we haven't come down to the final taste testing and stuff yet like that, but like be on the lookout for that. And we also got a partnership with Heritage Distillery, so you go in there and ask about the Jaguar menu. There's a nice Jaguar menu there that I really like. I mean, what was one of them called? One of them's called the Alley Oop. That was my favorite one.
Nice.
That was my favorite one.
So then I also read that you got a DJ.
Yes.
How did you secure a DJ for a brand new pro basketball team?
Honestly, DJ Smooth reached out to me.
Oh,
he had reached out to me because I actually had his brother, who's actually a pretty well-known basketball trainer in China. And so I had actually linked up with him, and he came to the tryouts and actually did some free workouts for the guys. He flew all the way from China to come down, and he worked out with the guys at tryouts. And then Smooth was there, so we chatted up a little bit, and then he reached out to me like 3 months later and was like, hey, I want to be the DJ for the Jags. And so I was like, hey, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it.
How did you go about finding your players?
Oh man, they came from all over the place. We have a guy on the team came from Panama. We got a guy that came from Canada.
Worldwide.
We had people come from the UK for tryouts. Like the thing about the TBL is yes, the TBL is not the NBA. Nothing is the NBA. Like I get that question a lot. Like the TBL is not the NBA. I'm like, we're not the NBA. That the NBA is the NBA. Like that's what they are. And the G League is the next level below that, but we have double the amount of teams. So technically, we are the second largest basketball league in the United States.
So for our viewers, what does TBL stand for?
TBL stands for the Basketball League.
The Basketball League.
The Basketball League. And like what I said, we're the second largest basketball league. We've been around almost 10 years now. So like the league is really competing. And above all else, it's actually giving opportunities to the people that it's built for. It's built to give people opportunities, to give players the opportunity to play near home, affect their community, and also go to the next level. I mean, the Salem Capitals had a player last year who's playing for the Celtics right now.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
He was there last year. Matter of fact, he was actually at their scrimmage game because he was taking a break during All-Star weekend. I looked at him. He was like, yeah, man, I'm coming back to play this season. I'm like, why are you coming back to play here? Like, I do not want to deal with you. Like, that is not what I signed up for this year. Like, you were supposed to be somewhere else.
That's crazy.
But shout out to Colin Kelly because I think he's leading the G League in blocks right now, and he's swinging back and forth between the Celtics and the G League team. But I mean, he had such a great experience playing under Jason Conrad over there in Salem that he's like, I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So
that's like a testament to like relationships and like the connections everyone's making.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
like we got Smush Parker is a referee in our league. Like it's really a developmental league all around. Like we have a coach right now who last year was coaching in the TBL. I can't think of his name right now, but he's coaching for the Philadelphia 76ers G League team. He's the head coach. So, like, you know, our head coach, John Tyson, he's played in the NBA. He's played for the Raptors. He played for the Magic. He played for the Globetrotters.
oh, the Globetrotters. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Globetrotters are great.
You know, so I heard this thing about Coach. Guy's a giant, man. 7 foot tall. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
What I heard?
And he'll dunk it at practice too.
So I mean, like he's hanging out right where the net is, man. I mean,
it's great. He's a walking billboard.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call him. I told him he's a walking billboard. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's no 7-footers walking around Eugene like that. Like,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
I'm like, you're a tree. Like you're a walking tree. Like, so like he's really great. I mean, he does a lot of work with the Boys and Girls Club down in North Carolina. He's been working with kids a really long time, and his passion is really developing players. Like, so I like to think he doesn't like calling himself a player's coach, but I'm like, you're a player's coach. Like your players like you. You do a good job. You're a player's coach. He's like that's not a stigma. You players should like you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, right. That's something that's super powerful, right? Is to have this connection instead of this like pedestal, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's like we're all equal here. You know, there's you know, just because I'm the coach doesn't mean I get to. I mean, he does call the shots to some degree, but you know, everyone's on the same playing field.
It's like he doesn't force the players coach. He also doesn't force like that. Oh, I'm above you guys. Like I'm the coach and y'all are the players. It's like it feels like we're together in the process of it. So it's definitely, I would definitely say players coach actually.
Yeah. I mean, he was at practice the other day, and he stopped to play because somebody made an adjustment mid-play, and so he thought it was wrong. And I've seen coaches totally just start yelling at everybody like, no, you're supposed to be here, you're supposed to be here. But everyone stopped, they explained why he made the motion the way where he went, and he was like, oh, yep, that's my bad. Y'all good, let's go. Like,
Wow.
And it's just like, you know, having that sense of accountability for him, for himself.
I feel like that's rare. We talk about that just in like businesses and companies and things like that, about how that same mentality is what keeps employees, right? You know, because you want to be there for them. You know, we want to be there for the people that are looking out for you and that are on the same playing field instead of the, you know, this hierarchy of like, you know, do this, do that. So,
Yeah, but companies got no loyalty, man.
I get that. I get that.
I'm gonna be honest, I just got fired on Monday.
Oh man, I hate hearing that.
Yeah, I just got fired on Monday, so it's like, man, like this is the only thing I've had looking forward to all week is this podcast and the game, the opening game. We've been putting in work, man. I haven't had this much free time in a long time. So we've been burning lines. We've been getting in front of places. Matter of fact, we've been practicing this whole week at Mapleton High School down in Mapleton.
Oh wow.
And like we've been doing impromptu little like open practices for their community, and like, you know, they've had kids coming, showing up, watching us practice and stuff like that. You know, we're doing the school assemblies at the we're not just focused, like I said, we're not just focused on the Eugene Springfield area. Like that's why I didn't name the team the Eugene Jaguars. I named them the Emerald City because I want them to be a team for the whole Willamette Valley, like a resource for the entire Willamette Valley.
Well, that's cool because it brings people from other cities, right, close by.
Yeah, like we did an assembly in Walserville. Like it was the first assembly we did. I mean, those kids were juiced. Like, they were.
Bad.
I asked the principal, like, I emailed him, like, you get these kids a lot of sugar before you like started this thing, because like they were a little hyper.
We're gonna
It
have
was so
guests.
hype. We would miss a shot and they still would go crazy. Like, it was just crazy, man.
That's awesome.
Man, that's a testament to kids' energy right there, man.
Oh man.
Abion, what's your story?
Well, I grew up.
Marion told me it was going to be an inspiring story, is what he told me. So
Yeah, no,
I'm stoked to hear this.
his story almost brought a tear to my eye, and like it's hard to bring a tear to my eye. Like I was like I was like doing the little cloud cloudy with a chance of meatballs meme. I was telling the tear to get back in there. I was like, nah, but it was it's very inspiring. I'm gonna let him tell it, but man, it turned some gears.
So we could just start with, like, I grew up in Philadelphia. My mom was from Camden, New Jersey, and my dad's from Brooklyn, New York. So I grew up back and forth from Philly and New York. And just, I played all sports growing up. Like, every sport you could think of, I played it except for hockey. I played football, I ran track, and I played basketball. Those became my main sports as it went along, getting into high school. Cut out football because I got a bad injury playing football. I partially tore my meniscus. And then I just cut the basketball and track. Senior year, right before the season, I'm playing good preseason. Right before the season starts, my mother passes away, delivering my little sister. Her name is Alana. And had a rough season because of that. Mentally wasn't all the way there. Fought through, still played the whole season out. We made it to the playoffs, made it to states. We ended up losing in states, I believe, in the second or third round. Well, before my mom passed away, I met my wife. That was my girlfriend at the time. We got really close during that time. She was there for me throughout the whole process, man. It was crazy. Like, it was days I'd be crying with her, and she would just be like, "It's cool." She'd make me laugh, and then it would just be amazing. So I knew she was the one from there. I go to college. COVID happens. I come back home, and I'm just like, man, what to do? like everybody was thinking. So you ever learn about Turo? So like a rental car business.
Yeah.
I learned about Turo, and I started doing that. And I had a lot more free time, so now I'm in the gym more. I'm finding out different things. So then I end up going back to college, the year away, and then me and my wife, we were traveling, and then I proposed to my wife. So that's when she became my fiance, and that was May 31st, 2022. And then from there, we just traveling for like the next 2 to 3 months, just living, just vibing, honestly, before I went back to school, because she knew I was going to go back to school and play basketball. Mm-hmm. So she knew it was going to be, like, not tighter money-wise, but it was going to be, like, I was going to be a little bit more locked in, and then she was going to go back to school and everything like that. So it was just like, we're just going to have a time before we get back locked in to school and things of that nature. So go back to school, I get hurt before the season starts.
Oh, no way.
Right before the first game, I tear a ligament in my ankle. But
You better not tear no ligament.
No, never.
You
Never.
better not tear no ligament with me.
So it's crazy though. So when it happened, I go to the doctors. They're like, "Oh, it's just a sprain." So I go play my first 3 games, and I heard it again, but it wasn't like I didn't do anything to do it. I go back to the doctor's office again. I'm like, I don't think this is just a sprain. So they ended up getting an MRI, and they ended up finding out that one of the ligaments was like, it was not shredded, but it was like, I forget how they explained it, but it was more damage than they thought. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I go through that, and then I sit out for the rest of the season, and I'm just 8 months of that. My wife just there with me, like, you're going to be good. Because I was thinking, I'm like, maybe basketball not for me. I'm just telling her that. We was talking about, I'm like, I could just focus on business. There's so many ways to make money in the world. I'm like, I could coach. So I started training actually too during the time when I was injured. So I started training younger kids, middle school, high school, and then even college players too. So it's like, I'm just like, man, maybe playing just not for me. Like, so then she's like, no, like, you better not quit. What was your mom saying? Stuff like that. So she just like attacking me like, you can't do that. And I'm like, I love her for that. So then skip ahead just a little bit. I get back healthy. I start working out, going hard. I go to a team tryout actually for a team. They were in Pennsylvania. I went for a tryout for this team called the PA Kings. I ended up getting through the trial process, and as soon as they were about to put the team together, the owner texted and they sent a refund back for the tryout. And I'm like, why'd they do that? So they ended up not making it through the season. So basically, I guess he didn't have everything set up how they thought it was supposed to be, so he refunded everybody for the tryouts, and they weren't going to have a team that season. So now I'm just sitting out the entire season last season. And I'm just like, man, another setback. And I'm like, here we go again. So then go to Vegas, TBL Summer League. I actually play well in Vegas. So my thing is I play defense. Like, I watch Pat Bev, Drew Holiday. There's a bunch of players that just play defense. My favorite point guard growing up was Gary Payton. So people know him as like the glove. Like, so.
Speaking of Gary Payton, we're giving out a signed Gary Payton jersey tonight.
Ooh.
What? Am I in that raffle?
No, you were not.
I need that.
Definitely want some more info on that.
Well, we're giving away a dope prize every single game. So, like, next game, it's a signed Clyde Drexler ball.
So come to these games, Eugene.
Next game after that, it's a signed ball by the current Blazer team.
Whoa.
So it's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I think we got a signed Clyde Drexler jersey at some point we're giving away too. So it's gonna be fun.
Dang, man. Cool.
But yeah, though, so I'm in Vegas. I'm just dogging it out. Like, I'm playing full court defense. I'm hitting shots. I'm getting to the basket. I'm passing the ball. I'm playing how I play. And I'm like, man, like, this might be a good season. So I'm getting excited for that. We in Vegas. I'm out with my wife. My uncle's there. He handles all my my business stuff like that. So it's me, him, and my wife, and then his wife, and then we just out there vibing. After that, we went to dinner, did a couple things, like just had fun. After that, got to enjoy the strip, got to see the mountains, beautiful stuff. Then I come home, just working out. So I wanted to stack a little bit before the season because when you was playing in the TBL, even if you played before, it's like you kind of want every team to see you. So the way I think about it is I had to save up. So for flights, hotels, tryouts, and things like that, it starts to add up. So I'm like, all right, let me just start stacking before the season. I started working. And me and my wife, we went on a camping trip in August. So it was like, all right, it's going to be like not like our last hurrah of trips, but it's like, all right, we're going to do this little fun thing before I lock all the way back in. And we're going on a camping trip, and I'm driving home. And, man, so I'm driving, and we go to pull over, and we got into a car accident, and my wife passed away during a car accident, and that was August 14th, 2023.
Bro.
And it's crazy, but I ain't never talk about it. And this,
and you don't even have to go too far. You know, as much as you want to say, bro, I do. That's wild, and I'm so.
But yeah, so it was like the car accident happened, and then after that, the funeral. And so I was in the car accident too. So right after the car accident, they take me to the hospital, and they just like going me through the CAT scan, the MRI. They're telling me everything that's wrong with my body that happened, and I'm just like, man, I'm alive, bro. Like, I can't even.
Right.
I don't even want to go too deep into detail, but it was just like they're telling me like my knee, my back, and all these stuff is messed up, and I'm just like, man, I'm here, I'm breathing. Like, I can walk out the hospital. They had me in a wheelchair, but it's like I could walk, like with the ability to walk. So then that happens. I ended up like the rest of August, halfway through September, I'm just like laying low, just trying to find out, like, so me and my wife, we lived together, of course, so it's like I was staying with my aunt in Jersey, so it's like right over the bridge. I was staying with my aunt and my uncle in Jersey for a little bit, just because like going home, I don't know how I would have responded to that, just being there that early. So I was there just laying low, just trying to like get my mind and my body right. And then maybe September, I try to go back in the gym, and I feel all right. Like I try to hoop, and I'm just like, my body felt okay, but my mind didn't feel okay. So I'm just like, man, all of these setbacks, and I'm just sitting, I'm thinking, and there's so many days I'm just saying to myself, like, maybe it's really not. Like, I'm just like, maybe basketball is just really not for me. Like, maybe like not just basketball, but it's just like, man, like, I hate to laugh about it because like I gotta laugh about it to make it.
For sure.
It was just like, man, like, maybe I'm just not meant to be that, or like maybe I'm just trying to figure out like what is it? Like, what am I here for? Yeah. Maybe I'm just meant to go through things. Like, I don't know. I'm just really trying to figure out like why is these things happening to me? Because like I lost the two most important women in my life, I say. my mother and my wife. So it's like my mother is chosen by me. She raised us. My dad was around, but he wasn't around as much as he possibly could have been. So it was like my mother raised us by herself with the help of my family, of course. I'm a strong knit family group. And then after that, when I lost my mom, my wife was right there for me. So it was like, this was like the first time I was actually
Alone.
not alone, but yeah, like alone, because I still had my family and everything like that. But it was like, when I went to sleep at night, it was like, nobody, like your family not gonna be there when you're sleeping. So then I'm just going through that, like mentally just trying to figure out what's next. Like, what am I gonna do? So then I'm just sitting, man, like a month, 2 months go by. I finally start working out a little bit more and more, just trying to like, it went from just trying to pass time by to just being every morning getting up running. After that, go to the gym. After that, train. And then after that, go to the gym again. And it just became clockwork, in the gym. Then December comes, and it was a tryout in January that I was going to go to a combine. And December happened. My body locked all the way up. Like, I guess because the way the accident was, I never really went to PT. I just was like in the gym. So it was like I took my rest time and then I went in the gym. So then I guess it caught up in December. It was like December 13th or something, maybe early December. I woke up one morning and I was like literally couldn't move. Like my back locked up, my knee was locked up, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm done. And I told myself that, and then I think I got a massage and I called my homie Zion Bradley. He played in the TBL too. He played overseas. It's my brother. Like, we work out together.
Technically, Britt Zion was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he
was supposed to be here.
A team snagged him up before.
But I'll tell this part real quick because like, so Zion hits him up, and then he tells him like, nah, you're coming to this combine and tryout. Like, you're going to come.
Okay.
And somehow he found like the will and the want to actually get up and do it.
Yeah.
And so he came, and then we had the TBL draft in like early February. So we had I think it was like 300-400 athletes from all over the country came to that. Yeah. And so and we did a formal interview process, and I actually sat down and talked to him before I got to see him play. So the way they set it up is you get to know the player first, and then you get to go see him play. So we did a bunch of interviews, and he hadn't even told me his story. Like, I hadn't even been told that.
I always keep it under wraps.
So we were just talking, and I was just like, man, I like your energy. I like what you're about. Yeah. I like what you got. Him and Zion, and then so they come to the tryouts the next day. I go and spend probably about 15-20 minutes on each of them, watching each of them. With 300-400 players, 20 minutes is a long time to sit there and evaluate two people.
And it was 4-minute games.
Yeah, with 4-minute games. So, I mean, I literally caught every one of his games that day after like 10 runs or something like that. So we get to the draft, and I'm scrambling to try to find picks because I don't have enough picks to actually take both of them. So I'm like running around, scrambling, trying to make deals, and they're in the lobby. So they're actually in the lobby of the draft. And I'm like literally talking to them, telling them like, yo, I'm going to draft y'all. I'm going to draft both of y'all. I got y'all. Y'all coming to Eugene. And I couldn't get picks. I was running around until the second round and finally was able to pay for some picks, some extra picks to pick them. And then so I had the whole order set up of how I was going to pick them, sent it all in. And then I got him. And then the very next pick, like immediately afterwards, someone took Zion. And I was like, wow.
Oh, man.
I was like, wow. And so, like, after that, I called him. I told him, hey, it's official. You coming to Eugene. And, like, yeah, he's been down here locked in ever since. Like, he was ready to go. Like, he was one of the people that got off the plane, and I could just see he was ready to go. He actually
one-way flight.
He booked the one-way flight. He was like, I'm making training camp because you got to make training camp. So like, you come to training camp and you can get cut. He was like, he told me, he's like, I got a one-way flight. I was like, hey,
commitment, man.
Yeah, I like that faith. I was like, but you taking the bus back? Like, what are you about to do? You probably should have two. Can you move it? But he was like, no, I'm making the team.
How did that feel, man?
Man, like, I never even. This is the first time I actually said this before. When he texted me, he drafted me before. So the second round was actually. The first round, it was in the lobby, and that's when he told us, like, he would draft me. But I'm a firm believer on, like, I believe it when I see it. I truly believe with everything that he was saying, but it's just like stuff happens in this league and then in this business and then basketball stuff just happens. So it's like, and then I could have got drafted before it. So it's like anything could have happened. So I'm just like, man, I believe it when I see it. So I'm just waiting and waiting. Me and Zion and Marvin, actually, because Marvin made the team too, they drafted him too.
Yeah,
we're all sitting in a
Marvin
hotel room, and we're just like, man, like, we just sitting. Like, it's just crazy because we actually had to leave that day because the second round was at 8 o'clock the next day. So my flight was at 6. So I was going to be in the air when the draft happened. Me, Marvin, Zion just sitting, and we just talking, and we just like, man, like, this is going to happen. He said, we're going to all land and we're going to get drafted. I land in Atlanta for a layover. This was when the second round started. Marv texted us and was like, bro, they grabbed me. And I'm like, man. So we in a group chat. We like, bro, let's go. Like, 1 down, 4 more to go. Like, cause it was one other player too. And we was like, man, 1 down, 4 more to go. And then I just like, all right. I had to get on my next plane. I'm like, I texted Marion. I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, did the second round start? And he was like, yeah, I grabbed you. Congratulations. And I'm like, bro, I'm in Atlanta airport trying to find my flight. And I was like a little cubby, like we're a phone slot. And I just sat over there and I just cried for like 15 minutes, man. Like, and it was just like, changing bro, point. Like, it was like, bro, like the past, it wasn't even just the last year went through my head, but it was just like the last 5 years, my whole basketball journey just went through my mind. Like, bro, like this is not it, but I just keep finding a way. Like, it's just crazy. Like, and I just keep telling myself, like, bro, just keep finding a way, keep being undeniable. Like, I tell myself that every morning, like, be undeniable. Like, don't let it be a chance. So it's like, to see me, a kid that played junior varsity my junior year of high school, to starting 2 games of varsity my senior year, playing 3 games, 4 games of college basketball, to playing 1 game in the TBL, because I got, like, it was just like, and somehow I just keep making it to the next step. Like, and it's just like, it motivates me, and then I hope, like, it motivates other people that's just like, yo, like, you got to believe in yourself first.
I'm gonna let you know right now. It motivates me because I'm like, telling you, my week has been crazy. Yeah. So like it like his story and him being here is one of the reasons I didn't get too down on myself this week. Like, because like I said, I lost my job on Monday. So like I was like, look, like I was like, I like Dale, you're here, and I want to do this for you, just because of what you've had to been through. Like, it's gonna be rough, but like you said, we're gonna put one foot in front of the other, and we're gonna get there. Yeah. And like the whole motto is community first, and community impact through sports. Sports is a vehicle. We use sports to affect a lot of lives in a lot of positive ways. I don't even think sports can negatively affect someone's life. I mean, it probably can, but like I've never heard of a story of it.
Like, dude, I'm addicted to basketball, man. Right? I'm not going to work anymore. I'm just hooping, man.
Right?
That's
let me find that story. I'm just curious. I want to talk to that guy. Like, hey, you just do it for fun now.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, sports inspires, man, and that, like, I hope these stories of these guys and what they're going through, people can relate to. Yeah. And you know, it's all about accessibility, giving kids accessibility into what it takes to be a professional athlete, the perseverance you need, the work you need to put in, and above all else, believing in yourself, like that you can do anything you want to do.
And I think that's something that was inspiring and undeniable, right? Is every time something came up against you, you're like, I don't know, man. Should I be done with this? Should I give it up? And you didn't. And you just kept going back, and here we are today, man.
I give a lot of credit to my trainer. His name Lewis Leonard. Like, he just keeps me at 0. Like, it's never too. When I got drafted, he was like, "Man, let's work." And then from when my wife passed away, it was like he called me, like, and it was just like, "Man, like, come in. Like, if you want to come in the gym, come in the gym." But like, it was never too high, never too low. Just stay at 0. Like, just it's just every day is another day, and then like it's just locked in every day. He would give me a grade. He'd be like, man, like, if I have a real good day, he'd be like, you like a C- today. I'm like, man, I can't at least get a B. Like, so it's like, he just keep me level-headed all the time and just keep me grinding. And then, yeah, it's just, and then my family, tight-knit family, like,
A good
when
support
it
system.
happens. Yeah, like so the day it happened, the day my wife passed away, my entire family was at the house that I was staying at, and then they all were together.
Mm-hmm.
It happened at 3:00 in the morning, and they were all there by 4:00, 5:00, like immediately. So that support system carried me, and then just every day, just staying level-headed, just figuring out how to get to that next step.
Mm-hmm. Thanks so much for sharing your story, and I mean, it's yes, it's inspiring, but it shows perseverance. It also shows humanity,
Absolutely.
and I think that's something that connects our community. So,
Speaking of community, what kind of things are you guys doing for the community? What kind of connections?
Well, right now we're really focused on making sure like we get in front of the kids and talk to the kids, and and the part there's a story behind that too. So like the whole reason we focus so much on kids is because the Blazers are the closest NBA professional team to us. I grew up fortunate being in LA. There was a professional team every time we turned the corner. Like now it's literally one every time you turn the corner. I was like, but so back then my family couldn't afford to go to Laker games. We couldn't afford it. So my dad used to take us to the open practices that they have during the preseason, and you could they would be free, or you could donate $3 and it would go to like a Boys and Girls Club or something. And so I remember going there and getting to see Kobe, Shaq, Robert Horry work for an hour, 2 hours, and it was like, okay, he just shot that shot in that same exact spot 90 times. To go in the game and shoot it twice.
Yeah.
And it was just for me as a kid, that showed me the kind of work ethic that I needed if I actually wanted to be on that level of just an athlete in general. And so right now we're really getting in front of the kids and we're doing a lot of free assemblies. We're doing a lot of free assemblies at middle schools, elementary schools. If your school wants to do an assembly, they can email us and we'll show right up. We'll come right up and cool. We'll be there. We're volunteering during lunch hours right now, just hanging out with the kids and just giving them the access to the players that they can ask questions. And then, they're not just somebody that you're going to see on a court or see on TV. You can walk up to them in the grocery store and get an autograph, or just, tell them hey, I saw you play and then I went and dropped 20.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's what I like. Let's go get a Trader Joe's sandwich.
Yeah.
And then, Brandon Suttles, right? He's his teammate, and you just see how all the little kids oh, you're my favorite player, and just being able to talk to him. Yeah. And him actually being there at the games, at the camp. So they came to the scrimmage. So we had a scrimmage. They were there. They were signing autographs, and it's NBA games. They have a time limit. It's they get probably 10 to 15 minutes. You got to go to the locker room, and y'all got to hit the bus. Yeah. For us, it's they get a little bit more time. They get to talk to us, take pictures with us, and just really I'm not going to say we're closer than the NBA, but I love how we're running it as it's literally community
probably a good
first.
example. We are closer than the NBA. We're literally here. Yeah. So we're actually here. So and the goal is probably for the league to be able to compete on some level, or be in conjunction with the NBA to offer more teams to play or something like that. But the goal right now for the league is to affect positive change in these smaller communities that really need it. Right. So that's the prime reason that we're here. Like you said, the team motto is community impact through sports, and the community part comes first for a reason.
Absolutely.
So speaking of working with kids, you've got a kids camp, right?
Yeah, it's our all-star kids camp where, we're going to be training every day. We got 2 groups. We got basically a 13 to 18 group that's going to be in the afternoon. And then we got, I believe, it's a 6 through 12 group. That'll be the first group in the morning. So that's going to be a 3-day camp. Everyone that signs up gets a free shirt. And if you sign up early, you get a good discount on it.
Sweet. Nice. Sweet. That's awesome. And how do they sign up?
You sign up. So to sign up, you go to our website, ecjags.com. There's a registration link. Once you register, we'll mail your shirt out. You'll get your shirt in the mail. And yeah, it's just going to be a good time. We're going to dedicate a lot of fundamentals to that camp and, you know, introducing kids to the Jags way of playing basketball. So, and it's all about development. Basketball should be fun. I've never not had fun during practice, but I've also talked to kids that have run through me and my brother's camp in Corvallis, and they're like, "You guys make practice really fun." I'm like, "What? You haven't practiced without fun? That's not a thing."
Run laps the whole time.
Yeah, like it's
That was my experience.
yeah. See, no, not about that at all.
Maybe it's because I sucked though.
Yeah, they
It's
were
gotta
like,
be fun.
you don't have to practice.
It's got to be fun, and it's
Totally.
gonna be cool because like all the players are gonna be there. So depending on how many kids we actually get to sign up, it should be a lot of one-on-one accessibility with the training.
Oh, awesome.
That sounds pretty rare too. You don't usually get that in those kind of things. So that's pretty cool.
Not generally, like
Yeah.
you don't generally have pro athletes coming to train kids, but
And if they do, it'll be 500 kids,
Yeah.
one pro,
Yeah.
and just a bunch of trainers. So it's like, this is going to really affect a lot of kids because me growing up, going to camps and stuff like that, and having players be there and actually take that time with them is just a different experience. Like, so hopefully they take it in and they really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And so tonight is the big game, the first game, right?
game numero uno.
All right, so tell us a little bit about like how long is the season? How many games are there? Tickets, they're affordable, right?
Yeah, so I'll go into the games first. So we got 24 games, 12 home games, 12 away. Okay. So here's the thing about some of our away games. They're not really away. Like we play Salem like 4 times. So like if you want to come support our hometown Jags, let's pack out the Salem arena.
Yeah.
And let them know like 45 minutes down the freeway isn't anything to us to come beat you guys. So, but we got 12 home games with this one being the first one. We're playing the Vancouver Volcanoes tonight.
Oh, nice.
Then we're going on the road to Seattle and Wenatchee next week, and then we'll be back home. Right now, single game tickets are on sale. You can get them at ecjags.com. Season tickets are also on sale, and season tickets come with free t-shirts and some other cool perks too. So you can get those all at ecjags.com, or you can come buy your ticket at the door. That works too. Yeah, that definitely works too. But above all else, again, it's all about accessibility for families, accessibility for the community. So all
How
kids.
much is it for kids under 12?
Oh yeah, I was getting there. I was getting there. All kids under 12 get in free with a paying adult. So that means for that mom that has 4 kids and can't possibly get them to a Blazer game because those tickets are crazy. Well, not right now. They're kind of bad, but no shade.
It's still more than $14.
I mean, but when the Blazers are bad, bro, them tickets get real cheap. I'll say that. When they get bad, them tickets get real cheap real fast. But like, just the cost of U of O games have gone up, and it's due to the economy. It's not anything the university can control. Expenses go up, ticket prices go up with it. Yeah. So being able to provide that opportunity where that mom of 4 kids, all under 12 years old, or even one being above, she can get them all in for $20.
Right.
Wow. Like. And one parent can bring 5 kids for all I care. If they're all under 12, they're walking through them doors, and we're gonna have a good time.
I mean, I think that's huge. I mean, you think of like taking your kids to like the movies, right? And you're just dropping ticket after ticket for all your kids, right? And you're
movie tickets. You can spend $100 at the movies nowadays, man.
Before you even get to the snack shop,
man. Like my mom and dad got 9 children, so. It's 9. I got 9 siblings between me and all my brothers. So like when we went to the movies, it was almost like the Hunger Games in the house. It was like who's not going and who's waiting for the movie.
I feel like that's everyone's taking turns. They're like, all right, you got the first 20 minutes, and then you're going out, and then the next guy goes in.
Man, we went to one Disneyland trip. My mom was able to get us into Disneyland once, and this is when Disneyland they probably stopped stamping people on the way out because of us. like they would stamp, and my mom would buy like 4 tickets, which is the max she could afford. But like them other 5, get in there and just roll. Roll that stamp, and get through the door. But
gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man. My parents always did what they had to do to make sure we had fun. Yeah, the environment,
and it was Disneyland.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's Disneyland, man. We got to get in there one time as a family. I remember all those moments too, because like they were all special. Like even the ones where we were just like fighting to see who's going to see Toy Story 2. Totally. Like all the littles get to go, but them high schoolers, y'all got to fight. Y'all got to duke it out and figure out who's staying home.
Well, and that's the beautiful part about the Emerald City Jaguars is that
none of that has to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole family can come.
The whole family can come, and we make it so it's affordable for the whole family to come. And like again, we're incorporating a lot of local acts. So tonight we got Escape Dance Academy. It's a local dance academy.
Oh, nice.
Doing the halftime show, doing a whole halftime performance.
Wow.
So like we're gonna incorporate local acts. I'm trying to find a local magician. I don't know if you guys know a magician around here.
All right, well, folks, you heard that. Local magician.
We're on the
All
lookout.
right.
I need a magician, and I also need a clown. I don't even know if kids like clowns anymore. But, like, it
I think
seems
they're more
fun.
associated with scary movies nowadays. I think.
See, that's my fear.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
like
Scare 'em away.
the It movies.
They
And like
brought It.
yeah, the It movie done changed things. Like I'm like, are clowns cool now, or are they bad again? I'm confused.
That's hilarious.
I can't even watch that one.
My wife doesn't watch scary movies, so I have to watch scary movies by myself. Like I
Oh.
can't. I have no one to go to the movies with to go see scary movies.
So do you watch the scary movies?
Yeah, I watch them by myself, man. It's kind of it makes it a little bit scarier.
I
I
was
guess.
just gonna
It's
make
like-
it scarier because you're all
that's-
yeah.
I'm like completely by myself.
I never go through with it. There's like good movies that I'm like, oh, let's go watch this, and she's like, hell no, and I'm like,
I can't get her. I made the mistake of tricking her one time. I told her we were going to go see Doctor Strange, and we went to see Annabelle. She literally sat there with her eyes closed for the entire movie. I literally mean that in the most literal sense.
I mean-
her eyes were closed the entire movie.
That's like catfishing somebody at the movies, right? You know, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, we were going. No.
She never trusted me again. She makes me show her the movie tickets before we walk through the door. Like she's like, give me the
Give me
ticket.
a
I
thing.
want to see it.
Yeah,
I'm like, all
that's
right,
hilarious.
I got you. I got away with that once. That was a one-time thing. I should have used a better movie though. Annabelle wasn't a great movie for me to use that on. Speaking of movies, you gotta kids got to be on the lookout. Sign up for our newsletter on our website. We do a lot of fun events that we get out. We try to get
nice.
them out as soon as possible. Also, our Instagram at EC Jags. Everything is basically EC Jags. We try to make it very
that's
simple.
easy.
Like
Yeah.
super simple. But like we're gonna do a pop-up movie event down in Corvallis where we're gonna rent the entire movie theater out, and then anybody that wants to watch a movie with the players can come and watch a movie. So
Wow, it's awesome.
that's fire.
And
Yeah.
that's through your newsletter that folks can find out about that?
yeah, through the newsletter, we're gonna make a public calendar that people can have access to. So it'll be on our website. You can download it. You can just see live events that are going to be added, or get updates on certain things. But it's something me and my brother were doing down in Corvallis anyway with our CA2 program. We would every year during Christmas we rent the movie theater out, and we'll have all the families come and watch the Polar Express or something.
That
Like
nice.
just a reason for us all to get together. I did it with my son's football team to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and
Oh, yeah.
like it's convenient when you rent the movie theater out. Kids can go crazy because it's all your people there. So
Yeah,
like
right.
my son gets up and he'll just like sprint up and down like across and just get some energy out, and then he'll sit back down and watch the movie. I'm just like, you do that. Like, you go ahead and have fun with
just
that.
halfway through the movie, I love that, man.
Yeah, no, it works. It happened. Started doing it during COVID because they couldn't go to the movies anymore.
Yeah.
and I love movies, so like started doing it during COVID. And then my son has never been to a movie theater that hasn't been rented. So
Dude,
he
that is-
doesn't know what that's like.
That's really thinking outside the box.
That really
I don't know
is,
that I've
yeah.
ever even thought of that, and I'm like, that's brilliant.
Oh man, it was super fun. One time, my most fun time, I rented it, and then me and my older brother, like we had an event scheduled, and then like no one showed up, like literally no one. I don't know why, but just I don't know if it was a miscalculation on the days, but everyone was busy, but not a soul showed up. And so me and my brother, we didn't want to watch Super Pets, so we asked them like, hey, like my brother lives down the street, he's gonna go get his PlayStation 4. Can we like hook this up?
What?
Yeah, we were like, can we hook this up and just like sit here and play? And they were super chill about it. They were like, yeah, man, go ahead. And we gave it to them, and then we were playing. We did like, since we had it for 2 hours, we just played 2K on the movie
man.
theater screen for 2
Fire,
hours. It was
That's pretty epic.
It was fun, man. But I mean, that big screen messes with your depth perception like big time.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
It took me like a whole quarter to get adjusted. I was trying to do nothing but layups. I was just like, man, I'm missing everything.
Well, I think that's all we have for today's episode here today, but we're really excited to go to a game, and we're glad that you guys came here today to share your story, Abion, and Marion to share with us everything about the Emerald City Jaguars.
I appreciate you guys having us. Like it's getting the word out like this and being able to connect with the community in every way possible. Thank you guys for what you guys are starting here. Podcasts are fun, so I hope a lot of businesses and local people get involved in these podcasts, and they can share more about their businesses and stuff like that. And I said this at the celebration of business. If you want to partner with us, we want to partner with you. So shoot me an email, mclark at ecjags.com. If you have a volunteer event you need volunteers for, we'll be there. Just hit us up, let us know what's going on, and we're going to be out in the community as much as possible and as much as they'll let us.
I love that.
Love that.
Abion here. This camera on?
Yeah. Oh, you go.
Come to the games, man. It's gonna be a show. They call me Showboat for a reason. Y'all gonna see us and the EC Jags. We gonna put on a show for y'all, man. Come to the games, home and away. Come support,
Especially them Salem
Come
games.
support.
Yeah.
What do they say they call you?
Showboat.
Showboat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Make-
Real quick, anything that you just you want to share? It doesn't have to be related to anything that we've talked about.
Eugene, I'm gonna look dead at the camera on this one. Go support your local businesses. Go support the people in the community that are out there. There's plenty of people here at Greeters that would love to get involved with each other. Like, we need to get out and connect more with each other so that way we can actually continue to create the type of community that we all want to live in. So go support your local businesses. Go support your local comic book store. Go to the local library. It doesn't always have to be about money. Donate some time. Like, get out there and donate your time a little bit. It's almost just as good, if not better, when you donate your time. Not everything has to revolve around $1.
Absolutely.
So, our games are great opportunities for volunteers. If you want to volunteer, you want to get involved with the community, you want to get some free tickets and some free swag, come volunteer with us. We're looking for volunteers, people that want to help get involved. But again, like I said, we're also here to volunteer and help other people. It's all about support. And this community is big, it's vast. There's a lot of resources here. We need to start helping each other and supporting each other. And we can take this really, really far. And this could be one of the best places to live in the United States. I already think it is. The Willamette Valley is amazing, especially if you love wine. There's some great wine here. But
Absolutely.
yeah, no, it's great, man. It's great. So support your local businesses, support your local people, and above all else, try to dedicate 10 hours a year. If everyone donated 10 hours a year of their time to volunteering, a lot of things would get done around here.
Absolutely. Wow. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, we'd love to have you guys on in the future as you guys get going and learn a little bit more about how the games are going and how everything's going in the community.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Hopefully we
I'd
come
love to
back during the playoffs.
Don't
Yeah.
forget about us.
Yeah,
No,
right.
never that.
All right. This episode of the Eugene Morning Hustle podcast was brought to you by the Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce and sponsored by Ivan Torres of Business Block Studios and Brandon Miller Voiceover. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel where you get your podcasts and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to stay in the know. If you have any questions, topics, or guests you'd like us to dive into, send us a voice message on the Eugene Chamber Instagram page, and we'll feature you and your question on a future episode. Or shoot us an email at podcast@eugenechamber.com. Till next time, Eugene.